What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of the No Game Plan Adventures podcast. If that car gets out of my lane, it would be awesome.
Can we just, our first topic, Kiwi drivers.
Kiwi, you know what? Scratch whatever we planned.
Yeah,
Kiwi drivers is a great
Kiwi
one.
Drivers.
My name is Brian Bennett. I'm your host, and this is my partner in crime, Madeline Rose. This is a conversational podcast that we do while we're driving from one location to another.
We are currently driving from Gisborne around the East Cape to Matata, where we're going to camp for the night before heading to Auckland tomorrow. We took the scenic route.
We did take the scenic route.
Adding about 3 hours to our drive, and so far, I'm not quite sure if it was worth it.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It's pretty, but...
It's pretty, but I mean, we would have been there 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
So.
And I just realized we had to turn off the AC and roll up the windows to record this podcast. It's going to get really hot doing this.
Sure, we can't have the AC on.
It's going to mess up the audio, so we can't do it. We can't do it. Anyways, let's...
So
really?
If we get progressively redder and sweatier, it's his fault.
Okay, I'll take it.
And not in a fun way.
Anyways, so, Maddy, what's your topic of conversation that you're bringing to this podcast today?
Well, my topic is kind of funny because we haven't actually, done any of them, but I was going to talk about favorite road trip games.
Road trip games?
Like, games to play on long road trips.
Oh, okay.
This was kind of, I guess this topic, you kind of did this, before there was DVDs in the back of the head seats.
Right.
And, before you had iPods playing and stuff like that, where you're, if you're going through rural areas, there's no radio station and you're kind of stuck in a car with your family for 6 hours.
See, we used to do this on our way to school.
Seriously?
Because we had to drive kind of a decent 15-20 minute drive to school every day.
Okay. You did that really?
And so we would play some games.
Okay.
Some of them were unconventional, for sure.
Okay.
Some of them were quite, random horse on the side of the road. But some of them were what you would call the normal ones. But why don't you go ahead and tell me about some of the ones that you used to play?
Well, the classic one is the alphabet game.
The alphabet game.
That's what we played all the time. You have to go and you have to read street signs and you have to read license plates and anything and get, you have to count down to the alphabet.
From A to Z.
A to Z.
As they say over here.
Yes.
That would be Z.
Z for the Americans. Yes, from A to Z.
But here's the thing. We always played you couldn't use license plates.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
See, we always just did license plates because that's the only place you can find the Q and the X, and the Z sometimes. Usually X. X is the hard one.
X is, you know what? X isn't, it's a pretty hard one, but you could use street signs, road signs, and that kind of stuff. You just couldn't use license plates.
Oh, okay. No.
I don't know if we were allowed to use the, writings on the sides of trucks. Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we played you can use any word, any letters anywhere. Of course, then you'd have all of us trying to cheat. I saw an X. Yeah. We saw the X. And my mom's like, bullshit, you didn't see an X.
Exactly.
It's okay, I didn't see an X, but I pretended I saw an X. My mom always won, too. My mom's freakishly good at that game.
I could see your mom winning.
Yeah, she's very good at that one.
I had a friend back in elementary school. His name was Nathan Ganser. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Nate Ganser. He's living out in Alabama now. Little ginger kid, redhead, and he, for some reason, had just the eyes of a damn eagle and could see from miles away. And he would be reading signs way down the road, and he'd claim it, and you'd be like, I don't even see it. And then 2 minutes later, you drive past it, and you go, see, told you.
Wait, don't you think he just memorized the route?
No.
No, he had really good eyes.
He just had that eyesight where he could see that far, and then there's me who fought getting glasses until I was 28.
Yeah.
So I can finally see somewhat now, but I didn't used to be able to.
Yeah. Well, we also used to play, speaking of license plates, we used to play, our version of Slugbug was that
the states.
Well, it was the out-of-state license plates, but you had to say the state capital before you could hit somebody.
See, you guys are too smart.
So it's really funny.
You're
You see
too
a
intelligent.
Tennessee license plate, and then we'd all be like,
Memphis.
Memphis, and then somebody would punch somebody, or like, Wisconsin. We'd be like, and then somebody else would see it and go Madison, and like slug the other person.
You guys made it too educational. We just wanted to beat the crap out of each other.
Okay, so you guys didn't do this. You didn't do the capitals.
You know what?
Okay.
It didn't matter.
I don't know how that game started.
I don't know how that game started either. Slugbug is a classic though.
Of course.
And then you always got the one kid that gets all like envious because he got slugged, and then tries to like make up a slug bug somewhere, like pretend like he saw one.
Yeah.
Normally it was me.
My dad and I did this to my sister one time. So you know the VW, where it used to be a Volkswagen dealership down on South Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my sister was reading in the car, and we didn't notice. She didn't notice, and my dad just looks at me and goes, shh. And we were down there, I don't know what, we were down there, but he drives into the parking lot of the Volkswagen dealership, looks at me, and we both turn to my sister and start going, slugbug, 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 slugbug. Because you had to verify it with somebody else. You didn't just get to say slugbug, somebody else had to see it.
Someone else had to see it.
Because we were all filthy cheaters.
Okay.
So, but we drove her into the parking lot, went slugbug, slugbug, slugbug.
Let's see.
She was pissed.
The other one that was really cool, one time my mom, we used to drive from Reno to Palm Springs for Easter every year. And she somewhere found street sign bingo.
Street sign what?
Street sign bingo.
Oh, okay.
So each person got their own little board where you had to like close a plastic window over the top of the street sign if you saw it.
Okay, what kind of street signs? Like yield, stop,
crane crossing.
Crane crossing?
Train crossings. What did I say?
Crane crossing.
No. Train crossing.
Wait, I'm just going to test something real quick.
Go for it.
So see, what if we put it on auto, but we only put it on our feet?
That might work.
And we can take it here. We can take it down just to get a little bit of cold air in here because I'm dying.
Okay. Hopefully that works. If not, I'll try and take out the hum
No, that helps
later.
a little bit. Look, you can't even. Do you feel it on your feet?
Yeah, I feel it on my feet.
That helps a little bit for sure.
So we used to play street sign bingo.
Okay.
But then, we got older, and all of a sudden I got smarter, and we started having like car adapters.
Yeah.
For plugs.
Right.
And so we would bring the TV, and the classic in the car with all four of us, me and my three siblings, was just Mario Kart on the 64.
Seriously?
We would
on a TV in the car?
On a TV in the car, and it would be full-on pandemonium, people screaming and yelling.
What kind of car was this?
We were in a Suburban.
Oh, okay.
So we would set the center seat down with the two seats, because there was a one seat and a two seat to make up the three in the middle, so we put the two seats down.
Okay.
Mary, the oldest sister, got the one seat by herself,
of course,
and it was the three boys in the back.
Okay.
Which was absolute pandemonium, like
Did she play with you guys?
WWE wrestling matches in the back of this.
Oh my god.
In the back of the Suburban. Half of the time we were flipped upside down with our legs up in the ceiling and seatbelted ourselves in upside down. It was just.
What?
What? It was a madhouse. And it was a blast. So.
Did Mary play with you guys?
Oh, Mary was all about the Mario Kart, especially when it got to the GameCube. When we got to Mario Kart Double Dash.
Okay. And I'm a child and have never played any of these.
Right.
Okay.
So, by the time we got to Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube, which is a system that really doesn't get as much credit as it should, because it was kind of...
Aren't the original GameCubes, you can like drop them out windows and then still play stuff on them?
Oh yeah.
I take it back. What did I play? My friend Micah, when we were growing up, he had a GameCube and he brought it over to our house and we played like James Bond,
Okay.
The GoldenEye.
Oh no, that was the 64.
Shit. No, we played a James Bond game on the GameCube.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it is either.
We played just some weird video games. It was really fun.
But what other car games were there?
We would play. We call it. Okay, so my parents made this up when we were really little, and it's called the Animal Game, and it's basically 20 I'm thinking of an animal who's purple.
Okay.
You know, I don't know what
hippo?
animal I'm thinking of. It's purple.
A peacock?
Barney popped into my head.
Barney? That's not really an animal.
Not really an animal. No idea. I'm thinking of an animal that's black and white. And so then you can ask, is it a mammal? Is it a reptile? Is it a bird? Is it a fish? Like, you'd only ask yes or no questions.
Right,
You
20
can't
questions.
be like, you can't be like, what does it eat?
Right.
And then we had, my parents, we didn't play this as much when we were older. Not really at all, but my parents made up a game called Jokey Things. And it would be like really silly stuff like a swimming pine tree or, I don't know.
I only played this game once or twice in my life.
Uh-huh.
And I used to play basketball on a year-round traveling team called the Ballers.
Wow.
Back in the day.
The Ballers.
The Ballers. And we played...
That's like a Kiwi name. Speaking of things we have to talk about,
Okay.
it's Kiwi's name.
Kiwi names.
But
cool.
Ballers.
We'll get back to that in a later episode. So we did this trip to St. George, Utah to play in a basketball. Flew down to Vegas and then rented two 15-passenger vans.
Okay, so there's 30 of you.
Yeah, so there's 30 of us.
How
So
old
it's
were you?
8th grade,
Oh, Jesus. So 30, 13-year-old boys.
pretty much.
That sounds hellish.
It was actually a really good time, but I started playing, we were driving out to the Grand Canyon from St. George. It was a good long trip. There's a bunch of us in the car. We're beat, we're tired. We've been playing in a basketball tournament.
Uh-huh.
And I start playing tour guide.
Okay.
And so literally there was nothing out there in the middle of the desert except for like trees and rocks.
Right.
And so
it's Southern Nevada.
I would literally go for hours. And our right hand side now there's, wow, trees and rocks. Trees and rocks, everybody. Trees and rocks. And I did this for a long enough time. The driver, who was Daryl Feemster's dad, Mr. Feemster, I never knew his actual first name.
Okay.
Great man, real nice guy. Would just sit there and laugh his ass off the entire time, and then every other guy on my team wanted to murder me.
How drunk do you think he was?
Oh, he wasn't. Oh, God, no.
Are you sure?
Oh, no, he's actually.
How drunk do you think all the other chaperones were?
Well, I had Coach B and my dad, Daryl Feemster's dad.
Okay.
Those were the chaperones.
Okay.
Yeah. And my dad and Coach B were not in my car or in my van.
Right.
Because they probably would have murdered me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a fun one. Really wasn't a game. It was just more of a car thing I did to entertain myself that annoyed the crap out of everyone else.
Yeah, just for the record, if you do that in here, I'll hit you.
Okay, cool.
We used actually, so shout out to Miss Josephine Yeskovich, who incidentally is dating a kid that he babysat and grew up down the road from.
Yeah, I grew up down the street from.
Yeah, so hi Mitch. But Josephine plays this game, and I never want to play with her, but she always ropes me into it because we're both annoyingly competitive, and there's really no way to keep track, but we play, it's a game, it's called Yellow, and basically you just say yellow when you see a yellow car, and you'll be like, no, I'm not playing, and then she'll be like, yellow, and I'll be like, oh, fuck, like, oh, you got one, I got a, fuck, yellow, and so we'll just be talking right now, and then just if a yellow car drove by, yellow, it's a really stupid game, but you get sucked into it.
Okay. I mean, I had two brothers.
Yeah.
And so Knuckles was always a
What's
game.
Knuckles?
The one where you put your knuckles up against the other person's.
Okay.
And you fake like you're gonna go, and then you go whack and hit them on top of the knuckles.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Bloody hands, bloody knuckles, those kind of
What
things.
did we play? We play the one where you put your hands on top of it.
That's the same thing, and you gotta slap. Oh yeah. So we used to do that kind of stuff.
So we're trapped behind a gigantic, well, not a gigantic, tiny cars pull big boats here, which is really
actually
hilarious.
you know what, we
is this actually,
it's a Ford or a Land Rover, it looks like. So it's a decent sized vehicle
this
pulling
is
a giant boat.
what an American would consider an acceptable vehicle to pull a boat. It's almost
But most of the time it's like a Ford
like a Toyota Corolla.
Toyota Corolla, there you go.
Poor guy, he's trying to get over to let us pass.
But I can't.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really pretty.
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
We got the ocean off to our right. It's real pretty, but
I don't know if that was worth 2.5 extra hours of driving.
yeah.
Because we could have just driven up here from Montetod, but whatever.
All right.
We're on this long ass car road. It's not like we had anything better planned today.
Nope. You ready for my topic?
Yes.
All right.
Wait, do we have any more road games to talk about?
You know what? I don't really have that many road games.
Okay. Mine are the animal game,
yeah.
yellow, the license plate game, and the alphabet game.
Yeah. And I was such a video game nerd that I figured out as quickly as possible to
How to
get
play
video
video games.
games in the car for long trips. So that we did one time, and we gotta give a shout out to Lisa Capurro. You know, it was one of my sister's best friends that passed away at too young of an age. She used to play this game where she tried to bark at seagulls.
What?
And when I say barking, I mean like honking, like making goose sounds. Oh yeah.
Make the noise.
I can't do it. Oh no. This was a talent that Lisa Capurro had to her own self, and it was hilarious. And so.
Oh my gosh.
She used to just make this honking noise.
What?
And
You
on
gotta
the
try
way
and
to,
make the noise.
Oh no, there's no possible way to
I know you can't do it justice,
recreate it.
but you need to try.
No, because I'll sound like a horse or something.
Do it.
When no, I can't do it. I can't
do
even.
the noise.
I can't do it.
Do it. For the people at home, do it.
I can't. But she used to do it from like it was visceral. It was down in the throat, like come out of the chest. This noise. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not kidding you. It was hilarious.
Katie and I used to make Joe can bark like that. She goes "Hur, hur," and she can like bark like a gigantic dog.
Okay, so
Katie and I used to make her do that out the car window with people.
But this was like seriously the ugly duckling swan noise making thing, and it was hilarious. We would just sit there and laugh. This carpool was such a great experience as a kid because we were just a bunch of balls of energy that did not care.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Other than Slugbug, your standard games, we didn't really play games that much.
Okay. We just honked at seagulls apparently.
Right.
Okay.
That was my weird one, kind of. But for my topic, so I've been in New Zealand now for about 2 weeks, we'll say. A little over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What are the differences, we'll say, in travel that you notice when you travel? The things that you kind of got used to, and the things that, like, still when people do it, you're kind of like, that's so weird to me.
Okay.
Like, driving on the left side of the road the first, like, 5 days was really bizarre.
But now it's
just like, all right,
we were watching that video of The Rock yesterday, not The Rock, of Vin Diesel yesterday, and I was in my head I was like, he's driving on the wrong side of the road. Like, I was expecting him to be on the left side. So I think my brain has switched over now. Right, okay.
Fast and the Furious, it's about family, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we were watching a Fast and the Furious video.
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel was driving on the right side of the road. You're right. When I watched that, I was kind of...
Were you expecting... I was totally in my brain expecting him to be on the left side of the road.
The other thing was just him sitting on the left side of the car with the wheel in his hand.
That was weird, too. I think my brain has actually finally flipped.
My brain is flipped, except for when I'm approaching the car. When I approach the car, I still want to go to the left side instinctually.
Yeah.
But once I'm like in the car and see people driving, it's kind of just natural now.
Yeah, I've totally switched over. I'm really wondering if it's going to be weird to go back to driving on the right side. It probably is.
Yeah, it probably will be. But maybe not as much because we've seen it before.
That's true.
I have never seen people drive on the left side of the road.
That's very true.
In my life before. That's a big one.
Dead pheasant.
Yeah.
Get out. Cook that pheasant.
Let's see. Just the living in humidity. That's still one I'm not used to. I mean, there's drier days. It's the muggy days.
Anybody from the East Coast is laughing at us.
Oh yeah, because
we're pansies.
We're desert
when it comes
babies.
to the humidity, we are pansies.
I mean,
yeah.
But
we're like 10%.
I'm dying. I'm melting.
Yeah, it's so. Oh my God, I take my clothes off. Yeah, 10%. We're start bitching like little children.
Right.
But
humidity's another one. Just
hot and humid is the worst. It sucks.
Telling degrees in Celsius.
I'm getting used to that.
I'm not yet.
Okay.
When people are like, it's 24 degrees outside, I'm going, that's below freezing.
What is that?
And it's actually
24 degrees is quite pleasant.
Yeah,
it's probably it's about 75.
24 degrees is 75. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice day.
Anything under 30 is comfortable. Anything above 20 to 30 is like the ideal range.
You're good there?
Under 20, you're starting to get chilly. Like if it's 18 degrees outside, it's like, I need a sweater.
Okay.
And it's gonna get colder at night.
Right.
So.
Let's see what else. Just little sayings. Sweet as. That one I'm actually starting to get used to.
Sweet as.
We gotta give
A at the end of everything.
A at the end of things. Right. I gotta give a shout out to my man Carl. Carl from Business Appliances
in Gisborne. Yes.
Dude set us up with like business cards, and I had to get my social security card printed up so that I could get a tax ID number out here. But Carl was one of the funnest guys to talk to, and he would use sweet as all the time, and I was just like, I'm getting used to it when he says it. I understand what he means now.
We went in and bugged him like 4 or 5 times, so he's basically our friend now.
He's basically our friend now.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are some of the changes that you've noticed?
This is just a linguist in me, but I notice way different phrases.
Okay.
Like that mean similar things, but they say different stuff. Like a lot of people here don't say I'm sad, they say I'm gutted. Like, I'm so gutted we didn't go see that movie last night. And to me it's like, that's a little dramatic. Like, to actually gutted, you know? Right. They'll say like, I'm gutted. And it doesn't even seem to be that strong of saying something. It's like, I don't know, like, I'm gutted. Just, I don't know, something you wouldn't be that mad about. Like, I would think of using the term gutted as like, I'm tragically upset about something. They say I'm gutted. They say choice. Choice. Instead of cool. Yeah. They say, oh yeah, choice. Yeah, that's choice. I actually like choice, though. I like choice too, yeah.
I want to start bringing that into my vernacular. I don't care.
That was the first time.
I know, I don't care.
I've been my
fun. No, you're fun.
Well, it is really cool just to notice that those little tiny, or instead of throw, they kind of exclusively say chuck. Chuck. Like, chuck it to me. Or chuck it over there. Or just chuck it on the pile. Like, they use chuck in place of put, too. Okay. Like, put it on the pile, you know, like a root or something, because we've been landscaping, you know. You just chuck the weeds on the pile. Like, put the weeds on the pile. But they say chuck instead of put, you know. It's little stuff like that that's different from even your, you know, kind of cliche whatever.
Well, what was interesting, so we've been woofing, so we've been staying with a couple families, working on their properties, and we stayed with this wonderful lady, Rosie.
Hi, Rosie.
And Rosie actually called me out on a American saying the other day.
Oh, what did she say?
Well, she asked me if I would like a little bit more some kind of food or something like that. By the way, feeding over there was amazing. But she offered me something, and I was like, sure. And she goes, that's an American thing right there. No one would say sure.
Oh, really?
As of like for the word yes.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, sure. And she kind of was like,
what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Oh, interesting. I didn't know.
I was like, oh, okay. That means yes. Mm-hmm. I would love some. There's foot out the window.
Get it.
Get some.
Get it, guys.
Let's see what else.
Interesting. That's a new one.
Getting used to just different money, banknotes.
No, that's not that hard.
It's not that hard, but it's interesting.
Actually, New Zealand money is 100% better than American money in pretty much all ways. It's colorful. Okay. It's durable. Like, it's made of plastic and not, you know, paper. So you can put it through the wash.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to counterfeit.
Okay.
And they don't have dollar or $2, they don't have dollar bills at all. They only have a dollar coin and $2 coins. Their smallest bill is $5.
Yeah.
Which is way better. And the only coins they have a 10-cent piece, a 20-cent piece, and a 50-cent piece, and that's it.
Yeah.
No pennies.
Well, because
no dollar bills.
The penny in the U.S. now costs more to make a penny. It's like 1 cent, 0.2 to make a penny. So it is more expensive to make the penny than the penny is actually worth.
Yeah.
Which is
pennies are stupid.
A ridiculous
Canada got rid of their penny.
You know what? It's almost to the point where the U.S. needs to get rid of anything below 25 cents.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, quarter. It's almost to that point.
I would say we could go down to 10 cents.
10 cents. I could get behind that.
Because, we don't have, we have 50-cent pieces, but they're not really that prevalent. And then getting rid of a dime or getting rid of a nickel and a penny is huge.
Yep. So another one that is hard to get used to. We're in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah. Christmas December in the middle of summer was bizarre.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I was walking around downtown Taupo, and it was like these really kind of pretty Christmas decorations on the lampposts. Like, they're like the light up little wire pictures, you know, so it's like a candle and a Christmas tree and like Santa and an angel, and I'm like, it's freaking 90 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Middle of summer, like long days and everything. I'm like, this is really weird.
Well, beyond that, we went to Pack and Save today.
Yeah.
And I bought a ginger beer, which it was a different kind. It said spicy ginger beer.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking kind of a little bit of a harder, spiced.
Which was our problem. That was our mistake.
Yeah. It said spiced.
Spiced does not mean spicy. Spiced means nutmeg and cinnamon and allspice.
And that's exactly what
Christmas
it was.
Spice,
it was nutmeg. And I was like, that's
not the taste I want right now.
That was not what I was expecting. When I'm doing nutmeg, I'm wanting, like, I need to sit next to the fire at night because it's cold outside.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're in the middle of their summer holidays too. Their school summer holidays.
Right. Yeah. That's true too.
So all the kids are off. Like, all the kids at all the places we've stayed have been off, out of school.
Out of school.
So, and they go back to school in February.
No. Some other changes you got there.
The food's way different here.
We can't get a burrito. Has been one of the biggest complaints we've had so far.
Well, it's just that, I mean, I could make it, it just doesn't taste the same. But I really like
a true, authentic Mexican burrito.
I just don't think it's possible. Because, I mean, like, I swear, it's like the places that the spices and everything are grown causes taste difference.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure cayenne pepper down here is different from cayenne pepper up there.
Well, and the one thing is definitely the tortillas.
Oh, the tortillas are, don't even know.
Yeah.
Tortillas. But food here is really different in that, like, I think in the U.S., if you're looking to try and eat healthy and eat clean, canned food is, like, not an option because there's so many preservatives in it. Here, the canned food is made locally.
Right.
Like, so the canned food is actually fresh-ish, you know?
Yeah, fresher.
Like, the canned food, it is fresher than in the U.S., and, like, there's way less sugar and stuff. Way less sugar. I mean, you know that pasta sauce we got, the Waddy's pasta sauce? No sugar in it.
Oh.
Like, I've read all the labels. That peanut butter we got, no sugar. It's peanut. This is the generic, like, what's the brand at Costco? Kirkland. It's like the Kirkland generic brand, like, cheap store brand stuff has no sugar in it.
It's called Pam's here?
Yeah, Pam's.
Yeah.
Pam's is like Kirkland. Or what's the Walmart?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're fine.
The budget.
Kirkland,
the budget.
we understand Kirkland.
Yeah. Like, there's no sugar in it. And I mean, in the U.S., it would be sugar and preservatives. And maybe if you're lucky, you'll get some tomatoes in there as far as pasta sauce goes.
One of the other cool things that was different was we went to the kebab place.
Mm-hmm.
What was Sophia's?
Sofra. If you're in Gisborne, go to the Sofra Cafe and get kebabs.
Yeah.
Holy buckets.
Turkish diner.
Oh.
It was stellar.
We went there twice.
We went twice.
You probably don't need the large kebab.
I put down the large kebab the first time.
That's true.
The second time, it was just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
It was just a little too much.
Yeah.
But they had a sign saying the lamb is from here, and it was a local farm, right there. And so it was like you knew where your food was. You could go and research where your food had come from.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool. That's a new concept. That's something. Shout out to Grateful Gardens in Reno. That's something that they do down there.
Yeah.
Where
tell everybody where they source their food.
They tell everyone where the food's sourced.
But that's way more common here. And
but yeah, it's way more common.
Peter was saying when we were talking to him at the Verve the first time we went in there.
Yep.
Was that we were saying, oh, we want to go to the farmer's market, and he was kind of like, why?
Yeah.
The vegetables at Pack and Save, which is like the cheap Walmart-esque grocery store here, he's like, the vegetables at Pack and Save came from the same farms.
Right.
And not a lot of people spray here. Like, we've been working on farms, and the only places, even if they're not organic, the only thing that people spray are really nasty invasive species like gorse and thistles. They don't spray their crops. Like, there's not pesticides on their crops or anything else. Like, spraying on their crops is really just not, at least in my experience. It could be done other places, but they really don't spray here. Like, they spray herbicides on really nasty invasive species, but that's it.
Gotcha.
So it's like, where in America you have to go to, stupid overpriced hipster stores like Whole Foods. I'm sorry, Whole Foods is stupid and overpriced. I shop there, but it's stupid and overpriced. If you want, and like organic in the U.S. means something completely different than organic here. You don't necessarily have to buy organic here for your food to be clean.
Right. Straying away from food, the other one that was really interesting to me, when people go, oh, you should go check out this beach, or you should go check out this place, and they go, but it's gonna be really busy.
It's cute.
Yeah, when they say it's gonna be really busy, that means there's probably 10 people on the beach.
Yeah, on the whole beach.
On the whole beach.
Yeah.
Where we're so used to going to Tahoe.
Yeah.
And you go to the beach and there's like 100
Sand Harbor.
Shade makers.
Yeah. Per square inch.
Yeah, per square inch, and just 1,000 people hanging out on the beach.
Yeah.
Here, when they say it's gonna be busy, means literally you might be able to chuck a rock far enough to hit one other person.
Maybe. Busy just means you're gonna see some people on the beach.
Right, you're gonna see someone else.
And if it's not busy, it will literally be deserted except for you. I mean, it's a huge beach, like the beach that we're going to. I was on this beach for 2 hours reading my book in the shade. Nobody.
Gotcha.
Nobody.
The other thing is just the amount of people there are here.
I mean,
I have never felt. People watching is terrible here because there's just not enough people.
No. Like, the weirdos are only 5% of the population, and in America, that's a big amount of people, so
right.
Especially in Reno. Reno, it's really easy. I have a really funny story about weirdo shopping, though. That's for another time.
Go for it.
No, that's for when we do the podcast about what deviants we were as children. This is like my big deviant story. This was Philip and Laura and Katie, you know what I'm talking about. This was the one time we were bad. We snuck out. It's really pathetic, and you're gonna laugh at me.
That was the one you snuck out. Never mind. We're not even gonna go there.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Where was I? Oh yeah, there's no people here.
Yeah, it's
no people here.
That's taking some getting used to. The other alongside with that is not knowing anyone. Like not walking into a cafe.
Although they know us.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
They remember us. I mean, if you go back to a place after, especially a small town like Gisborne, or even in Rotorua, like I went back to a cafe 2 days in a row, and they were like, they knew my name, and they remembered what I got last time, and I was like, wow, you people really don't have a lot of people. And especially because we're Americans, if they hear us talk, we stick out a little bit. Well, and Brian's an attention whore and has to draw attention to himself wherever he goes.
What do you mean?
How can you say that with a straight face?
I don't know.
Exactly.
but the nice thing is the people in New Zealand, they are interested in learning who we are and what we're doing here, and it seems like they genuinely actually care.
People here are really not jaded.
Right.
Like, it's really actually kind of cool to slowly be coming to the realization that it's because this country's population is so small, but people are still like, if you're a traveler, and there's hundreds of thousands of travelers here,
right.
You know, but if you're a traveler, people are still interested to like talk to you.
Yeah.
And they want to know about you. They want to know where you're from. Everybody wants to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you. Like, people aren't jaded. They're not, you know, so overwhelmed with like the press of humanity that they just don't care about anybody but their, you know, immediate friends and family. Like, people are still very friendly and open and want to talk to you, you know?
For sure. And
okay,
so
we're in Hawaii Bay.
Hawaii Bay. Anyways, and so we are traveling along. It's been a good conversation. I think we've covered a lot of good little bases here.
Yeah.
We'll keep bringing these podcasts to you every time that we take a good, decent size road trip.
Yeah.
We don't know when that is. Next time, our friend Kendra will probably be with us. Kendra is getting into Auckland in, 2 days?
2 days.
In 2 days.
Kendra's coming from 3 months in Thailand.
Yep.
So she will probably have lots of fun travel stories.
Yep, she'll have some things to share with us. And
that's a good topic, is what's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you when you were traveling?
There you go.
I'm sure we've got some stories.
I've got a few.
Yeah.
And then please go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, comment, share videos. Please share videos with other people. That'd be excellent. I am now at No Game Plan Adventures on Instagram. Maddy is @wilderside, a.wilder.side on Instagram. Check out our Facebook page as well. And
as always, if you are doing anything interesting